Dear students, welcome to online class for economics. In this video, I am going to explain you the census and sampling method of data collection, as we have already discussed census. But mainly in this video, focus will be on the types of sampling. What are the different types of sampling by which we select the sample from a population? Let us First, I will repeat the census and sample method of data collection. As I already told you, census is that method of data collection in which each and every element of population is investigated. For example, if we are having 100 elements in our population, and an investigator is going to investigate those 100 uh, elements. If he investigates all the 100 elements, then it is known as census. If he selects some portion of its population, say let us assume, say if that investigator selects 10 to 20 elements from that population and study investigate those elements only, then that is known as sampling. As I already told you, sample is a portion of population which an investigator is going to investigate for collecting information, and the information is taken as information of the whole population. Now, the suitability of census method, as I already told you, it is suitable for small population, diverse population, when the population is having diverse features, when high degree of accuracy is needed, and when intensive examination is required. So this is the suitability for census method. Merits: reliable and accurate data is there, accurate information, extensive information, more information we can say, and study of diverse characteristics, and less bias. These are the merits of census method. Now demerits: it is costly, it is time consuming as well, because when you are going to study all the elements of the population, it will take much time, and it will there is need of more money. There is uh, say cost is very much high, large manpower is required, and not suitable for it is not suitable for large population. As I already told you, the stress will be laid on sampling and its methods in this video, because we have already discussed the census method in previous video. Now here, what is sampling? First of all, you should know what is sample. Sample is a portion of population which an investigator is going to investigate, and the conclusions are drawn from that sample only. So when we talk about sampling, sampling method of data collection is that method in which a portion of population is selected for the examination and conclusions are drawn, and those conclusions are taken for the whole population. But these are investigated from the that portion of population, but are taken for whole population. Suitability: where we can use this method, where there is large population. So in that case, when there is large population, it is very much difficult to do the census method. Average accuracy is needed, where accuracy is average needed, where there is no need of say full accuracy or 100% accuracy. Less time and money is available when you don't have say much time, or when you don't have more funds. Merits: it is economical, that is cost is low in that case. Time saving: it saves time. Identification of errors: you can identify errors, because you have to study that small portion of population. Useful for large populations: you can use it for large populations, so it is merit. And it is scientific, this scientific method of data collection. Why? Because scientifically that sample is selected from the population, and then it is investigated. Demerits: it is partial. Why it is partial? Because when you are say investigating say a part of uh, part of population, you are not investigating all the population, you are investigating only portion of population. So there is possibility of that partial information will you will partial information will be available only. Conclusions may be wrong, because when you don't have say 100% accuracy, when it is partial information, then there is possibility of wrong conclusions, wrong results. Difficulty in sample selection, specialized knowledge needed for sample selection. These are the demerits of. So what are the methods of sampling? Sampling here means sample selection. So sampling, first is simple random sampling, first method. Second method is purposive sampling. Third is stratified sampling. Fourth is systematic sampling. Fifth, quota sampling. And sixth is convenience sampling. So when we talk about these 6 methods, among these, random sampling and stratified sampling, these are the most important and mostly used methods in data collection. Simple random sampling and stratified sampling. So the simple random sampling, in this method every individual unit has an equal chance of being selected. So here an investigator is selecting say elements randomly. So that is why each and every element of the population is having same chance of being selected. You can see in diagram, say if this is the population, randomly these 9 elements are selected from that population, and these are selected randomly. There are 2 methods of this random sampling. Lottery method, as you all know, like we write down the names of the elements, names of the people on a piece of paper, and then we collect those pieces of paper in a box, and then randomly we draw say names of the people. So that is lottery method. One more method is there, that is known as table of random numbers. There are number of tables, random number tables, like say Tippett's table is there. Tippett's table, there are 10,400 numbers, and when we talk about those numbers, population is arranged and the numbers are given accordingly. Then the then sample is selected from the population by selecting those random table numbers. Merits, free from personal bias, because randomly sample is selected randomly, so there is no personal bias. Every element has equal chance of being selected. हर किसी एलिमेंट के पास इक्वल चांस है सिलेक्शन के लिए. So simple method of sampling. This is a very simple method of sampling. Demerits, it is not applicable for diverse population. What does that mean? If you are having population which is of having diverse features, then in that case, when you are selecting randomly, when you are selecting say sample, there is possibility that all the features of the population may not be depicted from that sample. Those may not be available in that sample, because we are selecting randomly. The sample is selected randomly. So it does not guarantee the representation of population. It does not guarantee the representation of it does not mean it doesn't. It is not say good method, but here there is possibility. It is not always possible, but there is possibility, because when you are selecting randomly, you are selecting the say elements from the population. So simple example which I gave you number of times. For example, if there is instruction in your class and randomly some of the students they will be asked questions, and if they give the answer to these questions, then it will be say the result will be good. The end conclusion will be that the class is very good. But there is possibility that weak students, those students who are weak in the class, okay, they are not they are not selected in that sample, या उनसे questions नहीं पूछे गए. That may be that is what I mean to say. It does not guarantee the representation of population. So no weightage to important items. There is no weightage to important items. Random sampling is used for exit polls. As you all know, exit polls में क्या होता है? Random sampling is done when people cast their votes, and when they exit from the polling booth, they are asked who they voted for. Accordingly, exit poll is done. Now second is purposive sampling. As the name suggests, when the sample is selected by investigator on the basis of his choice or judgment, so this method is known as uh, purposive sampling. And there is possibility of personal bias of investigator, because when investigator is selecting elements depending on his choice, then there is possibility of personal bias. You can see diagram, you can see say population is there and there are different color to make it simple, people are of different colors. And but when we talk about investigator selects say 4 people from the population as per his choice. So that is purposive sampling. It is simple technique, allows inclusion of items with special significance. If there is special significance to the items, then investigator may select those items, and sample is selected as per the objective of study. Here one thing is important, that investigator selects that sample which satisfies his goals. But one more thing, the demerits of this method, there is possibility of personal bias and doubtful results. When there is bias, there will be doubtful results. Remember this thing. Now stratified sampling. Stratified sampling is that type of sampling in which the population is firstly divided into groups, and those groups are known as strata, or you can say population is divided into strata on the basis of their characteristics, or we can say on the basis of their resemblances. Then items are selected randomly from these strata. So you can see strata 1, strata 2, strata 3, say on the, these have been differentiated on the basis of color, and then randomly sample is selected, and you can see from strata 1, from strata 2, from strata 3, from all these strata say elements has been selected. So the merits useful for diverse population, comparative analysis is done, results are meaningful and reliable. These are the merits of this stratified sampling. Only possible when there is complete knowledge about the population. It is possible when you are having say perfect knowledge about the population, when you know the features of population, when you know the characteristics of the population. And it is difficult if size of population is small. If the size of population is small, you cannot divide that population into different strata. So it is difficult for systematic sampling. In this method, first population is arranged systematically. It may be arranged on the basis of say numerical order, geographically, alphabetically, and every nth element is selected as a sample item. For example, say here in this example, every third element has been selected for the sample. Say first was selected second, then every third element is selected, second element, then every third, fourth and fifth element is selected, and after that third element is eighth element is selected, and after eighth the third element is 11th element is selected. So first element is selected randomly. In this case, first element is selected randomly, and after that every nth item is selected for sample. Here the first element is 2, then every third element is selected for sample. 2 उसके बाद 5 आएगा, then it will be 8, and then it will be 11. Merits simple method of sampling and hardly any possibility of personal bias. And demerits, every element does not get equal chance. When we talk about systematic sampling, each and every element does not get equal chance for selection. And no use when population is homogeneous. When there is homogeneous population, so then it is of no use. You can select any element when the population is homogeneous. Quota sampling. Quota sampling is like stratified sampling, but here when population is divided into different groups, then a given quota is selected from each group. For example, 10% is selected from each group, 5% is selected from each group. So that is quota sampling. That means some quota is selected from each group for sample. And you can see merits useful for diverse population, because we divide population into different groups depending upon their resemblances. You can see in diagram, yellow color, green color, red color, blue color, pink color. So these colors are so that to differentiate it from one another. It is less expensive, so there is no need of more money. Demerits. What are demerits of this quota sampling? Every element does not get equal chance. हर किसी एलिमेंट के पास इक्वल चांस नहीं है सिलेक्शन के लिए, because quota is selected. Possibility of personal bias. There is possibility of personal bias when we talk about quota sampling, and there may be full results as well. Last method is convenience sampling, and in this method an investigator collects the sample units on the basis of his convenience. You can see the example is given there. So if this is the population, and when we talk about say sample selection, in this case investigator selects the elements from the population on the basis of his convenience. Merits. What are the merits? Simple, less expensive and time saving, and it is relatively easy to get a sample. Demerits. Every element does not get equal chance. हर किसी एलिमेंट के पास जो है इक्वल चांस नहीं है फॉर to be selected for a sample. There is possibility of personal bias, and when there is personal bias, so results may be doubtful. In sampling, there is possibility of errors, and those errors are divided into two, that is sampling errors and non-sampling errors. As we know that in sampling we are investigating only portion of population, and when we conclude the results, when conclusions are drawn from that sample, and those are taken results of the whole population. But for that it is very much important to have a representative sample. But if the size of sample is small, that is if the sample is not representative, so then there will be errors, and those errors are known as sampling errors. So errors related to the size of sample are known as sampling errors. And one more thing is there, these errors can be reduced, these can be minimized by increasing the sample size. So if the sample is not representative, sample is small, then we can select more elements from the population to make the sample representative, so that results will be good and accurate. One more is non-sampling errors. Non-sampling errors are related to collection of data. When we talk about collection of data, that is when data is collected from the sample, when the information is collected from the sample. First, it should be representative. If it is not representative, then there may be errors, and those are known as sampling errors. But after that, when you are collecting information from that sample, if you are doing errors in the collection of information, then those are known as non-sampling errors, and these include errors in measurement. If the error is in measurement, errors in non-response of the respondents, when respondents do not respond, there is possibility of error, and sampling bias is there, and errors in calculation as well. So these are included in non-sampling errors. And remember one thing, non-sampling errors are dangerous as compared to sampling errors, because we cannot minimize non-sampling errors. We can minimize sampling errors, but non-sampling errors cannot be reduced. So because it is due to errors in measurement, errors of non-response, sampling bias, and errors in calculation. This completes your topic, sample method of data collection and methods of sampling. If you are having any doubt in this topic, you can clear your doubts during online classes. For any clarification, you can ask anytime via WhatsApp or via phone call. So all the very best. Thank you.